Bam, bam, bam. What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Hello. Welcome to Friday night, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Your place, the Unfiltered Experience with myself, Christopher Rausch, and damn, I never do it the right fucking way.
Scott Goyette. And I've got us running on my phone. I can hear your voice like 2 seconds behind. I'm going to turn my phone down.
Yeah, turn your phone down. What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Welcome to the Unfiltered Experience. It is our desire and our intention with the conversations that we have on the show to move your perspective, shift your mindset, and to raise the consciousness of the world today so that we all act differently, be differently, and we leave this world a better place for who we are and what we do. We love coming to you every single week. So if you're digging this, whether you're watching this live or on the replay, please engage with us in the comments. We would be happy to have your questions, happy to have your engagement. And above all else, we're just happy to have you guys here. We know that your time is precious and to spend the time with us is amazing. So thank you. We have an amazing guest with us tonight and we're going to bring him on in just a second. But I haven't had a chance to see my buddy, Scott. What's going on, man? How are you?
Very big day for me, Chris. At 9 a.m. this morning, I walked into the dentist office and I got my cleaning that I've been waiting for 12 months because they're so overly scheduled. So look at, what do you think?
You are smiling.
Dude, they're like beaming.
They're beaming. Did you get a whitener or you just got the gunk taken off?
No, they just do they actually said I'm a very anal dental guy. They're like, oh, you really clean your teeth. You must be really anal. I'm like, I am, but I just wanted to get it done. So,
oh man, there's so many different places to jump off on that. But
big
no,
highlight. That's my highlight.
I get this because I go every 6 months religiously. I've been going to the same dentist since I was 17. I get, Chris, are you flossing? I'm like, no, obviously that's why you're asking me the fucking question. And they're like, what?
Stop asking stupid questions.
So they gave me no, this is really fucking cool. I have a wire underneath my bottom teeth for my braces, and the floss is a pain in the ass. They give you this dental floss so you have to kind of feed through your gums, and now they gave me these little poker things. Yeah, I'm like, you just poke them where they got little ridges on them. I fucking love those.
Yeah, those are great.
Super easy. No, it's very important to take care of our choppers. I haven't showed you pictures, but you should see pictures of my teeth before I had my braces and everything. I had fangs. I never smiled. If I smiled, it was like, nope.
That's a little harsh.
I do. I think I threw the picture away. I've never thrown a picture away from me, but there's a picture where I was at a party at my house and I was drunk and I had it was like a New Year's Eve party. I had this weird ribbon around and I was like, and my fangs were sticking out. I'm like, I'm getting braces. So I had braces for 4 years and then the rest is history. We got Barsha in the house. What's up? She goes, hello. Good evening. We got Mark Gasser from Peachtree, Georgia. What's up, Mark? So good to see you here. Please. I know sometimes you guys come and go. Stay here for this conversation tonight. I guarantee you, and I don't say guarantee very often, do I, Scott? I guarantee you guys are going to move from this conversation shifted. So I know we got a tight timeline. So without any further ado, I'm just going to jump right into it, Scott. Our guest tonight is Mr. Jock Brocas, and Jock is an amazing individual. I've had the experience of having him on the Raw&Unscripted show. I've had the opportunity to have him in the clubhouse rooms that we do every single week, the men's group. He's just an amazing dude. I had a great conversation with him today. His resume, I can sit there and recite it off for days and days and days. But here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, have something to take some notes with tonight because I go to Jock because he has a different shift on reality and truths and perspectives. And it's so great to hear that because so many people just subscribe to the same philosophy. And what Scott and I do here on the show, the Unfiltered Experience, is to try to bring you different perspectives, to bring you different thought processes and really shift what it is that you're focusing on. Because once you shift what you're focusing on, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to get different results. You're going to receive different things in your life. So I'm just super excited. We got Coach DC in the house. What's up? Thank you so much for being here, Coach. Love Coach. He's in our Wednesday night men's group on Clubhouse. We got people saying hello. Robert Broker is in the Unfiltered house. Yes, we got Mary Kay. I had the great pleasure of having a Zoom call with Mary Kay this week. An amazing individual. So thank you so much, Mary Kay, for being here. We had some great exchanges today. So yeah, without any further ado, let's bring to the stage Mr. Jock Brocas. He's an evidential medium. He's an author of many books, including this one I hold in my hand right here called The Dearly Departed, Do's and Don'ts and Dangers of Afterlife Communication. So we're going to be talking a little bit about that, but we have an amazing show for you ready. So anyways, welcome to the Unfiltered Experience, Mr. Jock Brocas.
Well, hello there, guys. How you doing? Nice to see you, Scott. Nice to see you, Chris.
Nice to see you too. We had a great conversation earlier. You have your cocktail?
I'm having a wee swally, as we say in Scotland. Yes.
A wee swally.
This is how I got through COVID. It's called brandy. So,
yes.
If you hear me coughing tonight, it's just an excuse for me to go straight to the brandy.
Well, cheers. I've got my heavy duty glass of Jack Daniels and Pepsi, because after January 4th, I won't be doing that anymore. But ladies and gentlemen, in case you didn't know who I am, this says, I sprinkle fuck in every sentence like it's parsley. And by the way, this is not mine. This is my wife's, but she has the grande one. So I figured it was gonna be a long conversation tonight. So I'm hitching a ride. Man, we're so just thankful to having you here on the show. We're gonna have some great people here engage with us. By the way, guys, if you're just getting into the show, ask us questions, engage with us. This is an amazing opportunity to pick some very intelligent talk about Scott and Jock. So yes. It's Mark says here, he says, we want Jock. Bring it on, my brother. And Mark says also here, mindset matters. Absolutely. So first and foremost, just thinking about the world today and, thinking about everything, the divisiveness and the things that are going on here in the United States. You're obviously from Scotland. You've been here for a while. What is your take on the real root of what's going on right now? You and I kind of talked about it a little bit earlier, and I said, oh, that's a question I'm going to ask you. A lot of things that we do in life, we deal with the symptoms of what's going on. What is it? What are your perspectives? The divisiveness, the blaming, the sides, everything that's going on, the factions, whatever it is. What do you think is the deeper root of what is going on within individuals today? Right at the deep end.
Right off at the deep end. That is a really deep question. Look, the world is fucked up at the moment. Okay. But the problem is that we're always pointing the fingers at someone, instead of actually taking responsibility for your own self. And the reality is that you cannot blame the problems in the world on any one thing. The reality is that we think we know what we're doing. We think that we have a handle on things. And one of the things that we really don't understand is how the world works. And the world works under what's called divine law. And what we've done is we have fucked with Mother Nature so seriously that we are now suffering the consequences of what divine law in action actually is. And
what do you mean by divine law? What is divine law for people watching and listening? May not be familiar with that.
Divine law is how the universe works. You hear a lot of people turn around and say, put your faith in the universe. Put your trust in the universe. The universe will grant you this. The universe will do this. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, is the biggest lie that you've ever been told in your life, because the universe doesn't give you jack shit. What actually happens is that you operate within the confines of what divine law is. Divine law runs the universe. The universe is made up of laws. And our application of those laws and understanding of those laws is how we manifest, is how we bring balance. It is how we move through life. And when we take the wrong turning, divine law is there to either throw us some karma or to throw us some responsibility. The universe doesn't give you anything. The universe will not grant you a freaking holiday, and the universe will not grant you the freaking speed car or the racing car that you want, or the six-figure salary. Your application and understanding of divine law is how the universe operates, because the universe operates under the same laws as you're governed by. And at the moment in this world, we have screwed with divine law so much that we are now suffering the consequences of our actions. And unfortunately, the fallout is that no one escapes it. From one person's decision, one government's decision, the need to be in power, the need to have control is an unbalance of law. We live in a world of duality, and duality only comes from the law. It comes from karma. And I sent you an article that I wrote for New Dawn, which was, well, It was an interview that I had. It was a 6-page
Yeah, it was a great
interview.
one.
And it was all about this. It was all about how we are basically suffering under the consequences of our actions. And that's what's happening. And there's no point in us pointing the fingers at any government, pointing the fingers at anything. We need to take responsibility in our own lives for what's happening now and try to bring balance. Because in reality, ladies and gentlemen, there is only one law. There is only one divine law, and that's the law of balance. People say that the universe is built on love. It's not. It's built on balance. Love is one of the expressions of divine law. Karma is one of the expressions of divine law. They are a law unto themselves for us to be able to understand how the universe operates. But in reality, balance is what we are trying to achieve. Not love. Love is not the be-all and end-all of everything, because love means that there is an opposite. Because if there is love, there has to be hate. If there is good, there has to be evil. If there is balance and stillness, there is no variation on either side. There is no wave that has been created. Therefore, the ultimate law that we try to get to is that of balance.
We got the Go Love Now guy right there. What are your thoughts on this, Scott? I knew you and Jock would click. You guys talk some about that stuff that's kind of above my head sometimes, but what are your thoughts on what Jock's sharing? Whoops, can't hear you.
Sorry, I did one of those coughs that he was talking about. I didn't want to make it loud, so I kept my So this is stuff where people really get to stop and listen to the process, and we have to be super wise with our words of how we explain it, because opaque words can get confused. But let's sit with that word balance, because everything has a yin and yang, a give and take. There's no question. There's a duality in everything. So if that's the reality, I want you guys to think of this. If you're going to become super rich or have the prettiest wife or the fastest car or the most money, at some point in the universe, at some point in existence, and some point in your time here, there's going to be an equal opposite, period. And I've lived that and learned that in my own life, because I chase success and everything. And I want to be the fastest, the highest jumper, the best at everything. And I'm still fighting to maintain my basketball career, to maintain, do things that an 18-year-old does effectively. And so here's the deal. If I was up here at some point, there's an equal opposite. And one of the things that I want you guys to think about, and I guess that Jock would agree with, is there's something strange about this, but think of sine curves, okay? We always want to go up. But what if you just sat here and you hear that thing about being an observer? Imagine you just sat
Observer and participant.
An observer, yeah, an active participant, but there's an observer component. So if you're sitting in the space of being the observer, and stop trying to say, I'm going to take the ball and run with it 100 yards, I'm going to jump 50 feet in the air, and this is something that Chris, has seen me do a lot lately. Like, I've been retreating a lot. I go back and I hide. I go do my things. I participate in society. I'm not going up and down. I'm with people. I'm offering information. I'm sharing. I'm connecting. I'm listening. I'm loving. And so that sounds strange to a lot of people, because it doesn't sound exciting. It doesn't sound fulfilling. It doesn't sound rewarding. It doesn't sound, but here's the deal. I've had all that. I've had the beautiful girl, I got a beautiful wife. I've had the beautiful moment. I hit the game winning shot. I've done everything everyone wants to do. And you know what? You know what I want to do? I want to enjoy this moment with you guys. When I leave here, I want to go eat some sushi with my wife. I'm going to have a little sake and I just want to relax. And it doesn't need to be crazy. And back to your other point, because, somebody who's listening to this who wouldn't know better would think that you just said something that would piss me off, because they're like, whoa, you just denounced love.
Yeah.
You didn't denounce love.
No, I didn't.
You explained love.
Yeah.
And so I want people to process that too, because somebody who didn't know better would go, oh, he's going to get mad. That's not the case. Love is a byproduct of exactly what I'm explaining. So when you start to get to this space where you're sitting here and being a participant and observer and not going crazy in the sense of playing with the universe, going like this and staying more in just a comfort zone, a byproduct of that is you really start to feel what love is. you really start to expand your heart. You get out of your mind and into your heart. And so that's my 2 cents. And I want to be super careful with my words on the show today for one reason, because this is important stuff. And when people listen to this
Absolutely.
later, I want them to listen to it and process it in a good way.
And I think it's important to know, ladies and gentlemen, that love has no judgment. There is no way that you can measure love by the appropriateness amount of love that you give or love that you take. There is no judgment. You cannot love if you judge. You cannot feel love if you judge. Love is a constant. And we learn that love is what is within us. And it is the unending bank balance. It is what we can give. Prayer is a currency of love. Service is a currency of love. Love has no judgment. Doesn't matter who you are, what you are, where you come from. Whether you're a murderer, whether you're a criminal, whether you're a super person, whether you are the kindest person in the world. Love has no boundary. And I've heard more wisdom come out the mouths of tramps than I have out of famous people. Oh, we just lost Chris.
Yeah. It looks like he's agreeing with us. Whatever.
He's going like, yeah.
I think he liked it.
You and Scott, go for it. Yeah, and it's true. It is. Scott, it's exactly what you said. It is the expression of our lives and how we live it and how we love our life.
Let's play with that for a second too, because I love to share the authenticities, the struggles, the transparency.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I've struggled with lately, and you'll probably process and appreciate this too, is a huge byproduct of COVID right now has been emotions coming to the surface, because everybody's been on autopilot for so long.
Yeah.
And in that autopilot space, it's not easy, but it's simple to stay in that kind of go. Now, when I'm sitting here and I'm forced to start thinking and being in the present moment, so I think what ends up happening a lot of times, we start to struggle because when we have to think and we've got to do those things. I just lost where I was going when Chris came back. Sorry, let's do it again.
He does that.
Well, I'm just remembering back to being interviewed on Jock's show. Like, I was on his podcast and the shit fucking just kept going crazy. He's like,
that's probably me, dude.
I short-circuited a bunch of laptops. I'm like, oh, okay.
But you know something, Scott, you probably don't know, but I am in my 15th day of COVID. I am just coming out of COVID. I've just gone through it. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Your mind goes everywhere.
Yep.
But one of the things that really got me through this time wasn't listening to the news, because I believe then that I'm just being fulfilled with perceptions of what people think. And I don't believe in nothing, Scott. I don't believe in nothing. Because if I believe in something, it means that I am believing in the perception of another's perception. But if I know in my heart of hearts, then that is divine, because that is a clear, cognizant feeling. That is me knowing at the highest levels of divinity, of discernment. And the thing that got us through COVID is we meditated and we prayed and we sat in the sun and we took vitamins, and we never once turned to the media, and we never once. And I had a conversation with a friend of mine, and I'm like, don't give me the doom and gloom. Don't fill my mind in the present moment with what if. Don't try and steal my health through fear.
Yes.
Let me live in my moment, in the power of the divinity that I am. And let me call on that power. Let me call on that law. Let me operate within the divine consequences of divine law and bring forth the healing that I deserve and my wife deserves. And that is how we go through it.
So you just popped the thought into my brain. What's been a struggle for me as of late is what I've been doing in this space where I'm sitting, kind of at a baseline and just being observer, is I'm allowing all my emotions to really surface. So every bit of trauma, every bit of everything, I'm allowing that to flow. And in that flow, what's happened is, because my awareness is on such a high, like I feel, I'm connected to everything. I've been like, I can't continue to be part of this person's life right now. I've got to drop this person as a friend. I've got to stay away from this person. And so similar to what you're saying is, I'm picking and choosing what I'm going after. I'm going into nature. I'm going to a place that I feel good, but I'm only choosing where I feel good. And even if somebody's a good person, because at heart, we're all good people. We're just doing our best on our journey. I've definitely removed a bunch of people where I can't continue to listen to certain thoughts or what you just said, beliefs, because there's a big difference between the word belief and faith. And a lot of people say belief and they lean into that belief. I love the concept of surrender into the universe, understand and accept the laws, have faith in the divine within, get to know that divine. I mean, Chris knows, obviously, we're doing this inside and out. I'm constantly saying, find the divine in you, look within, cleanse the lens between you and your divine self. I mean, it's never ending. So to that point, what do we need to do to get people to that place, whether it's while you're suffering with COVID, while you're living your day-to-day life? Because what I've done is I'm again, when you're somebody who's decided I'm not going to be in the flock and I'm going to step out and be a leader, I love to keep everybody on social media, keep all my friends. And I'm like, these people are doing me a disservice in my growth and in wiping the lens of clarity for me to source. So I've been removing people. I've been doing different things. What could you share with me or with others of what's working for you, if you think will work, to understand the laws of the universe and get closer to that divinity?
I think, Scott, the very simple answer that I can give you is that the way I look at it is, I'm a gardener. And I plant seeds wherever I can. And I help people to learn where those seeds are and to cultivate them. And I don't care what they put on social media. And I don't care what they do, because then what I do is I non-judgmental. I don't judge them. I accept them for the place that they are at the moment. And I think, okay, that is what their understanding of life is now. That is where they are vibrating at this particular place. And then all I'll do, if you notice in I don't have a lot of followers, I don't care.
Neither do I.
But everything that I put out, even posts that I put out, are nothing like other people. My posts are there to sow seeds, and that is it. I see myself as a gardener. And it's me, it's my role to plant seeds in people. And that's all I want to do. Because if I can plant a seed in people, and that seed is that spark of divinity that awakens within them, then they're going to grow. They're going to learn to cultivate their own seeds. Okay, and they're going to teach other people, and they're going to plant seeds in other people. Yeah. And so I don't make myself worried about what anybody else is doing, whatever they think, or whatever judgments they have on me. I believe that I live my life in a non-judgmental way, because I cannot give love and show love if I judge. And so judgment is actually one of the hardest things that we all deal with, because if we look at what judgment is you can judge the distance of something. You can judge how something feels with you, but you can also judge someone from a negative perspective. And those people that maybe that you think, okay, I need to get rid of them. They don't need to be in my life at the moment. You don't need to get rid of them. All you need to do is just to sow seeds. They can still be there, but you have a choice. You have a choice, Scott. You have a choice whether, do I let them in or do I not? Or will they listen to a seed that I've just planted that hopefully ignites a divine spark in them? And you don't need to look for the consequences of how they do it. And you don't need to look towards how they feel about you. You just need to plant the seed.
Ooh, plant the seed. Hang on. Don't say anything. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we got some people in the house tonight. Thank you guys for being here. Take a break. That was beautiful. We got Andrea in the house. She says, what's up what's up, Robert? She's in the house. What's up? We got Teresa from Georgia. What's up, Teresa? Thank you so much for being here and spending your Friday night with us. I know you got a lot of things going on, but thank you for being here. Mark Gassard says here, dry or divine law. Yes, indeed. Keep kicking my ass with truth. Absolutely. Mark also says here, he goes, Scott, the Atlanta Hawks are looking for what?
I love that.
We got Princeton in the house. He says, hey, gentlemen, much love. I had a great conversation with Princeton today.
How's it going, my brother?
Yeah, what's up, Princeton? He goes, Princeton Clark. Oh, Mark says Princeton Clark is in the Unfiltered house. Of course, we had a great conversation today. Barsha says revelation is the unfolding. God is love. Absolutely. Let's see. Princeton says, what's up, guys? Observing and supporting these giants in the world. Thank you, brother. He says here, everyone deserves love. You are right. Love is boundless. It is formless and unconditional. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, Christopher had to go to the Matrix. Christopher's got a fucking problem with his goddamn internet that he wants to throttle some people with. So you're gonna have to help me with it. You're gonna have to help me with that, Jock, because I'm actually gonna come back with a question on that, because since Scott shared something, I'm gonna share something as well. But Princeton says, knowing leads to personal belief that is activated and materialized by faith in action. Yes, and watch out for Princeton. He's gonna be doing some amazing stuff. He's gonna be bringing church to the world, and that's all I'll say about that. Mark says here, the news blows and is not factual, too much opinion with agenda. You have to seek out the truth and do your own homework massively. Yes. Mary Kay says, yes, get rid of the fear, input, media, negativity, garbage in, garbage out, tune into the good. Yes, I get people telling me all the time that they're like, you just put your head in the sand, Chris. I'm like, my fucking sand is really nice right now because all the shit that's above sand really sucks. And I happen to like my life when my head's in the sand. Princeton says here, faith, like belief, are action words. It is a byproduct of divinity and action. Regardless of how it's labeled, we are creating in every form. The problem is that we live in a world that wants to define and label everything from their own perspective. Yes. Absolutely. It is simply what it is. Yes. And we are the roots of the tree of our own lives. Absolutely. I just want to make sure we got Facebook users giving us a clap. Thank you, Facebook user, for being here again. I think you were here on my Tuesday night show, but thank you. So yes. So in the interest of being transparent and vulnerable, since you were, Scott, and thank you so much for Jock for sharing that. I had a situation when I went to the gym here in Southern California. They instituted the mask mandate again. And obviously nobody likes wearing a fucking mask. I don't like it. I don't like shit on my face. I don't like people touching my face. My son will like try to slap my face and I have an immediate reaction. I don't like things on my face, but in the greater sense of good and what's good for everybody else and the fact that there are laws, I walked into the gym. She said, sir, I'm going to have to ask you to put your mask on. I put my mask on, no problem. And I said, by the way, how have people been towards you with putting the mask on? And she said, people have called me names. And she goes, oh my God, it's already been, I got there at 8:30 in the morning. They open at 5. It's only been 3.5 hours. She says, oh, this and that and this and that. And I said, well, I'm sorry, you have to go through that. And as I walked in the gym and I saw people with their mask on, I'm like, okay, people are doing the thing that they need to do. You know, it's like seatbelts, it's like helmets. And I could go into stories about that. What I found myself doing is becoming instantly angry, number one, and how people treat other people, who are enforcing rules and boundaries that we all have to abide by necessarily. But I want to going back to what I said before about the root of situations and thinking about what it is that I'm going through. Another aspect is that, like, lately I've been having road rage. Like, I can sit here and be on the show with you guys and talk about love and talk about unity and really truly feel that from the bottom of my heart. But then I get behind the wheel and all of a sudden my expectation is that everybody's going to like use their turn directionals. Everybody's going to, and I instantly lose my mind. I can sit here and like, I really do love everybody, but I can get behind the wheel and all of a sudden I just want to fucking throttle people. And I want to throttle the people that treat customer service like this. To Scott's point, where is that coming from? In your opinion, where is that coming from? Because I want to fix that. I don't want to be the person. I feel like I'm incongruent.
Listen, you're allowed to be angry, and at the end of the day, you got to remember something, Chris. You're a spirit having a human experience. You're not a human having a spirit experience. That means that we have an element of our humanness that we have to give rise to. We have to accept it like the ego. Like the ego is a crying child. We also actually have to accept the fact that we have a human nature within us, and it's so much of a part of us that if we didn't have it, what the fuck would we learn spiritually?
True.
Because in that moment, what you're thinking, I get so angry and everything else, but what did you learn in that moment? You had an awareness that you got angry about it, so you have a choice to change that. Right? You have a choice. I'm so pissed off about wearing the mask. I hate wearing the mask. They annoy me. So change your fucking perspective. Okay? We don't like wearing the mask, so change your mindset. Okay, so I'm wearing the mask. It's quite a cool looking mask, and I'm helping other people not get COVID. Change your mindset.
What's funny is I felt like it was enhancing my workout. That's the mindset I put on myself. Was like, okay, I know friends that have worn masks like to train at high altitudes. So I'm like, I'm training at a high altitude right here in the gym.
Exactly.
That's
so
change
your mindset. Too many people are controlled by other people's perceptions. Why not live for yourself? And don't live through the eyes of other people. Don't live through the perceptions of other people. You don't like something, ask yourself why. You're a man that likes questions. We talk about this. They say, I love questions. But how many times do you ask the question of yourself, why? It's the greatest question in the world. Why? Because when we ask that, we then seek answers. Why am I feeling this way? What do I need to do to change the way I'm feeling? Why is this happening to me? What can I learn? Why am I feeling at this moment in time? Why is the mask annoying me when it's probably helping to save someone else? Change your perspective and the world will change outside of you.
So, Jock, I want to add something to that because Chris has heard me say this a million times, and it's always a good time to mention it. One of the biggest things I always challenge people with, and I say, the whole world changes if we change one thing. Extend the sense of self or change your sense of self. And all I'm saying is, if I say right now that I'm Scott Goyette, or I'm one of these 3 people on the show, or one of the 10 people here participating, or I'm one of the 20 people, whatever it is, if I keep extending that, the further I extend that to, what if self for Scott, like myself, is everything seen and unseen? If I can get to that space, then my human experience gets real different real quick, because I see the mask and I go, oh, that's a rule that's trying to help people. And it might not be perfect. It doesn't matter to me. We're going to do it right now for this moment. We'll figure it out later. That's it. Done. Or the vaccine is okay for me because, and things that people don't even want to talk about, or this seems okay for me, whatever. Those people are experts. I'll deal with it. And I can go have the conversation after. But that whole thing of just saying, stop for a minute. At this moment right now, there's a woman at the desk. She's trying to protect people. She's trying to do her job. Is there any benefit for me to get mad at her? Not be angry. Your point of being I can go be angry and I can say, where did that anger come from? Where did it surface from? Mm-hmm. And another point to add, Chris, and I think we talked about this maybe a week or two ago, I can almost guarantee 99% of the anger that anybody is feeling isn't coming from the present moment. It's nothing to do with the mask.
No.
What you're doing is you're going to the trauma space that said somebody is telling me what to do, or forcing me into a space that I do not like, or making me feel uncomfortable. So in other words, the inner child that didn't feel comfortable at one point, and someone's telling you what to do or controlling you, you feel that, you get upset, and you're responding from there. Let's really just stop. I walked up to a desk at a fitness center. There's a woman at most making 15 or 20 bucks an hour, probably closer to 10. And she just wants to check me the fuck into this business. And I'm going to yell at her because I'm angry. That is not coming from a person walking to the gym. That's coming from a lot of other shit. So what if...
That's what I'm trying to get to.
I know. So what if in the spirit, experience this human experience, at every moment we stopped and said, oh, I feel mad because... Now, it's got nothing to do with this, because all that's happening here is a woman's trying to follow a rule. And so to the point, I challenge everybody here to stop every time they feel an emotion, honor the emotion, feel the emotion, but how do you direct it?
I tell people to learn to breathe.
Breathing is, breathing source.
I breathe a lot.
Here's the difference. Here's the difference is how you breathe. Mm-hmm. Because when I teach my students, or I'm coaching people, or I'm helping people through a spiritual crisis, the first thing I want to tell them is to show them how to breathe. But what I want them to understand is how to feel the space within the breath and within the out breath. Mm-hmm. Because when you feel the space within the in breath and the out breath, that is at the point where you touch your own divinity. Mm-hmm. And that is at the point where all answers will be revealed. So when you breathe in and you just hold it, and everybody can try that now, guys. You breathe in and you just hold that for 3 seconds. You'll feel the space inside and how quiet the mind becomes. You're in. And in those 3 seconds, you touch divinity. And when you hold on to that feeling, awareness becomes so deep. Prayer becomes so strong. Mm-hmm. And you can become more aware of everything. If you don't act before you breathe. It's how even in martial arts that we develop power. It's through the breath. Mm-hmm. We develop power through the breath. We develop ki through the breath. The breath of God in the Bible, the breath of God in every other scripture that is known to man, that gave existence, that gave us the animating life force that exists through everything, that we cannot see, but we have faith that it is there. That is the power that we hold on to. And that comes in the breath. And that's what I would say to people. Breathe.
Amen. Let's slap an amen on that, because breath is source. And so you know what's crazy, and I want to go to this space.
Mic drop.
Because, yeah, no, it's
boom.
See, mic drop. Bam.
You've got so many people who are living in beta. You're living in the day to day. So I'm about to take a final. I'm about to go in to do the board meeting. I'm about to go into a big interview, and they're in beta. They're stressed. I want people to fully understand that they can totally control that.
Yeah.
And if you practice that, you can literally move out of that space into an alpha space, almost bordering theta, a low-level beta, but you don't need to be in that high-level stress state where your amygdala is firing. And it's taken me a long time to process that too. I used to be great at it in sports, not even know what I was doing. You know, you accidentally take a deep breath and catch a touchdown pass. Now I'm like, oh, wow, I was doing something. I didn't understand what it was. Now I intentionally bring it to the table. And I tell my students say, I'm stressed out. I can't do this. I go, stop, breathe. I'm probably the only business professor who's telling their students in class going, let's everyone take a deep. I mean, they're probably like, who is this psycho?
Lotus position, everybody. Crisscross applesauce. We're going to
pretty much. Yeah. But
it's so important.
It's everything. It's past important. It's everything.
It's where your intuition comes from. There's been so many times in my life that if I hadn't stopped and breathed, I wouldn't have been here today. I was in a situation where that I had an intuitive flash the minute that I was breathing. And if I hadn't answered that flash, I remember my boss trying to get in touch with me and said, why didn't you go to the RV? And I was like, I just knew I couldn't go. He says, well, it's good because they were going to put a bullet in the back of your head. So
whoa,
I had to learn to breathe very early. And I found that in the breath is where the seat of my intuition is. It's the seat of where my psychic ability is. It's where I can communicate on the other side by learning to understand how to breathe. And I don't mean Wim Hof or whoever it is, his name. You know, I'm talking from a divine perspective on my own way. Because at the end of the day, you have to find your own way on the path.
So talk about the difference between that too, because a lot of times people hear this, and Chris and I have experienced, deep breath work and a lot of that, and you got that. But that's full mouth breathing. That's getting high from your own supply, getting a DMT dump. So you're talking more instantaneously, good nostril breath to get the source, right?
I want to connect to the divine, and I can raise my vibration in a second just by doing that.
But for you, it's a deep nasal breath, right? Or?
No, I don't need to do a deep nasal breath. No, I just stop, because the thing is, if I'm acting and I start to go, I'm bringing all my physical emotion, I'm bringing everything into that element. All I want to do is to try and calm myself, and I just want to breathe. But in my breath, I want to understand that breath is the breath that animates all life. It is the animating force that exists in the whole universe. I don't want to force it. I
guess my question was more: is it more nasal in the mouth? Because a lot of people get that whole.
How do you feel? Look, do you feel comfortable breathing through your nose or through your mouth? You breathe however the frick you feel comfortable.
I like it. So just get the breath in there. I like it.
Somebody says to me, I want to learn to meditate, Jock, but I can't meditate. I can't sit in a lotus posture. I say, so don't fucking sit in a lotus posture then. I know. I'll tell you a funny story actually. I was teaching a martial arts class many years ago, and I had this old guy in, and he was amazing. He was a fisherman from Scotland, but he came to our dojo because his son got put in a wheelchair because he got jumped and he got mugged. And he saw me, it was in a newspaper, and he saw me, it was in an article, and he said, can I come and can I learn? I said, sure. And I always taught from a very spiritual perspective because I spent times with monks and priests and nuns and all sorts of things when I was younger. And I remember we were sitting there, I was taking through meditations, right? And I got them all sitting down. They said, I can't, I just says, lie down, just lie down. Lie down, Les, it's fine, it's no problem. I was lying down, I was taking them through this whole visualization. And I said, okay, just see the beautiful white light coming towards you. And this old man got up and he was, oh my God. And he got up and he ran through the door. And I thought, what the heck's going to happen? So I ran after him. I said, what's wrong with you? He says, listen, Jock. He said, if I see a white light and I go towards the white light, I ain't fucking coming back. I'm 79. I said, it's all about perspective. I had to teach him, well, I said, don't go to the light then. Because if you've got a fear of it, don't go there. All about perspective. Just don't go to the. Do whatever you feel is comfortable for you. There is no hard and fast rule on how you meditate, and there's no hard and fast rule on how you breathe. You breathe however you feel fit.
All right, Jock. I want to shift gears here for a second because I know time is limited, so I want to grasp your brilliance and your genius here. And thinking about Scott and I are really about the greater good of everyone, and really trying to raise the conscious vibration of what's going on within everyone. Really to leave the planet a better place for who we are and what we do. Leave it a better place for our kids, and we're trying to be the example. We're trying to be the change that people need to see. A lot of people are hurting right now in the world today. And it's about self-confidence. It's about self-worth. It's about worthiness. We kind of had a conversation a little bit about that before. What are your thoughts for people who are watching right now, who are feeling that they don't have the confidence? They don't feel like they're worthwhile. They're having a problem feeling their worthiness. And instead they're trying to lash out, and they're being more of a victim than they are taking responsibility. Like you were saying before, what can we say to these people to get them to shift their perspective and realize that they're more powerful and they're more resourceful than they actually believe?
You have to sow, like I said, go back to the beginning, you have to sow seeds in them, seeds of greatness in them. Everybody has them. You have to teach them to cultivate their own brilliance inside of themselves. Show them a glimmer of light in the darkness that they are in, and they will always find their way. Once they see that glimmer of light, once they are awakened to what they can potentially do, or how they can potentially serve. And the thing is you want to ask someone, if they feel worthless, you ask them, if someone's worse than you, if someone's trying to an old woman's trying to get across the road, what would you do? Well, if they say, oh, well, I wouldn't let, I want to help them across the road. You see, inside of you is kindness. And so if there's kindness inside of you, there's brilliance inside of you. And if there's brilliance inside of you, then greatness already exists. And if you can show compassion to someone who's hurting, even though you're fighting your own battle and your own war, then you can change it all around with your choice.
So what do you say? What do you say to people who have the excuse, or they're so set in their victimness? They're so served by the people that are surrounding them, that are supporting their victimness. What do you say for them to break out of that? Because obviously that's hard and that's challenging and everything else. But on the other side of it, we know that there's growth and there's opportunity. What do we say to the people right now that are a victim to their situation because it serves them?
Some people hate themselves because they don't know how to love themselves. And at the end of the day, when they're being a victim, it's because they are feeding off of negativity. They need it because that's all they know. Show them something different to plant seeds in them and let it grow. You see, the person, I know people that will be, well, nothing ever goes right for me, or they're always, conspiracy theorists and all this kind of stuff. It doesn't matter. They're a victim. But here's the thing though, Chris, I don't need to worry about how they feel or what they're being if they want to be a victim, let them be a victim. I just want to sow a seed in them to show them that there's another way. I want to walk along the path with them and say, hey, Don't follow in my footsteps because you can't, but you can walk the same path as me. And I can teach you along the road, but you cannot walk in my footstep because you're different to me.
So,
and that's what I want to do. And if they want to be a victim, it's their choice, because they're fueled by pain and suffering, because they think that's all that they know. An abuser will always become an abused. Or sorry, the abused is always becomes an abuser, the other way around, right?
Not always.
No, not always, because some people break the circle, right? But other people don't break the circle because it's all they know. But here's the thing. Our friend, Walt McKinley, big shout out to Walt. Walt knew, right? He was abused, but he also knew that people above him were being abused, right? He took the choice. It's all about starting another circle. You can either live in a circle of abuse. When I wrote The Powers of the Sixth Sense, I wrote about this. You can be in a circle of abuse, and the only way that you'll change is to create a new circle. It is up to you if you want to go round and round and round and round, because at the end of the day, karma will still try to teach you lessons.
Oh, yeah.
Or you can start a new circle, and it's a choice. You do not have to live the way that you are living.
Did you guys get that? Did you guys get that?
Yeah, that's the snapshot. It's right there. Those words. You do not have to keep living the way you're living. I don't know how many people who have followed this show or come to us for coaching or in the middle of our coaching are constantly saying, but you don't understand, or it's the same language. The victim mentality is the same language. You don't know what I have to went through. You don't know. I mean, we could sit here and try to outdo stories all day long. It comes down to choices.
It's down to choice. And here's the thing. You can either be a victim. You can be authentic as a victim or authentic as yourself. You have to take responsibility. If you are a victim, you're the only one responsible for making yourself the victim.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. Mary Kay says here, she goes, I think there's a payoff for negativity and it's addictive. Absolutely. Wholeheartedly. Guys, we've already been talking for 47 minutes. Jock, you know me, I could talk to you for hours. I thought we were talking for 20 minutes earlier. We talked for an hour. So when you think about what's going on in the world today, and if I literally could say, here's a microphone to the world, what would you say right now to the people that are watching and listening who really, really have the best interest of what they think is right for the world, yet they're conflicted within themselves to see the bigger picture? What would you say to them to see the bigger picture and to let go of that ego, to let go of the need to be in control, and to find the flow that we are all trying to find? I'm finding it. Scott's found it. We're continuing to be in that. I think of Nemo, and he's like in that little thing, and he's like, okay, we're in this flow. We're all trying to find that flow. What would you say to people to get into that flow and let go of that ego and let go of that uncertainty?
I would say you have to learn to know who you are. I would say you would have to learn to understand the power that you have and the divinity. It all goes back to divinity. You have to understand that you're a divine being. And I don't listen to anyone telling me what the rules are. And I don't listen to I don't take on anybody's perceptions. I trust in me, which means I trust in the divine. I trust in God. When I had the conversation with my friend earlier, who's a scientist, and he says, look, Jock, I know, please do this. And I'm like, my faith is in the divine. My faith is in spirit. My faith is not in man. My faith is in the power of the divine law. And if I operate within divine law, there's nothing else that can touch me. And I want people to awaken to the power that they have within them, because everyone has the same power, the same divine spark that animates the plants, animates you. The same divine power that gives birth to a child, that grows the fruit on the tree, is the same power that animates you. You are no different from the tree. You are no different from the grass. You are no different from the waterfall. So understand where that power exists and do not listen to anything else but the divinity within you, and you won't go far wrong.
Boom. Scott, final thoughts before we let Jock go and we end the show?
What I would love to share is I do want to continue this conversation. Would you guys want to do a live either Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday? Because I would love to talk to you guys off air. I've got a thought of what would be a great continuation to this.
Sure.
And I would let's pick Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You guys pick the time. I'll free it up. We'll do a special live. But to echo, to finish up on what we're saying, I can't say enough about the clean the lens to look within to your divinity. I mean, Chris and I have been talking about that nonstop. We might have some disagreements on other things that I believe outside of that, but I definitely think 100% the first thing we all need to do to clean up this world and fix the imbalance that we've created is to cleanse the lens within. Stop looking for answers out there.
Yep.
Listen to us, come to shows like this, have a coach, all very valuable. But if that coach is telling you do this, and do this, and it's anything that's not look within, get a new fucking coach. Because I'm telling you, I mean, if you sit with Chris or I can almost guarantee it's the same with you. This is what I'm doing. I'm holding up a ton of mirrors for people. I'm handing them some potential tools. And if this tool feels good in your hands and you're going to be able to build a wall with it, then take the tool. It's part of the package. But I do not want to keep seeing people saying, that's the problem, that's the problem, that's the problem, that's the problem. Exactly. And you have never looked within.
Here's the thing about mirrors, Scott. This is something I want you to think about. We always look at mirrors because we're looking at the reflection of what we can see. Mm-hmm. But there is a deep spiritual truth that mirrors were used to see beyond. It was called scrying. And sometimes we don't look in a mirror to see the reflection. We look in the mirror to see what is beyond on the other side.
So you just alley-oop past what I want to talk about. Okay. I'm going to just give you a hint. All right. So anybody who wants to listen to our special live, here's where I'd love to go with this. First and foremost is everybody who seems to be just following the rules and very embedded in a certain mindset.
Yeah.
Are those people doing everything perfect for what this human world was created to continue evolution? And are other people awakening? And in that awakening, we're having this clash because there's this organic enhanced duality because everyone's doing what they need to do. One group is saying, I want to get more in touch with the divine. The other group is saying, I want to get more in touch with my humanity. So how do we awaken both groups to say, well, what do you want? Do I want to lean more into my divinity and have clarity? Or do I really love this human world so much that I want you to shut up and get out of my way so I can keep having these extreme highs? And I guess my point is, let's just create that picture. Let's create that picture for people to look at and say, I'm not saying that you can't live in this world where you have extreme highs and then you die. I'm saying, what could this look like? And make a conscious decision. Either one's your choice and your existence. But that's what I'd love to talk about because I'm realizing that I have to this is for me. This is my own management. Yeah. I've had to alienate myself from certain people who are so dead set on more. And a lot of that is my own addictive personality that I'm kind of like, ooh, tell me more. And so for my own behaviors, for me to stay here, I have to get rid of these people. And that's just a part of my own self-management, self-love, so self-discipline.
Absolutely.
So. But that's what I would love to talk about. And I have a lot more to talk. And I know Chris wants to too. So my summary is love everywhere we're going. Let's not just end this conversation. No. Let's keep that going. And I think one of the things we could do is we could open up the group during the week and ask some questions about where we'd like to go with this and invite everybody back and more.
Hell yeah.
I think we also got to understand, guys, that humanity is also a path to divinity. And so we understand that it's not different. It sounds sorry. It is different, but it's on the same. We have the choices. It's a fine line. Mm-hmm. We're on that. We're on that. And humanity is a part of. We don't come to this earth as a school. We don't come just to learn things. We come to experience what divinity is.
Yes, sir. It's hidden everywhere. It's in blind sight. It's like right in front of our faces. But we're like, Let's talk about that. Let's talk
Absolutely.
about that.
We'll keep it going. Absolutely.
Awesome. So, Jock, where can people get a hold of you? Where is the best place for them to reach you? Because I know that people are going to want to continue this conversation big time.
Yeah, I mean, I have my site, which is my mediumship site, is jockbrocas.com. My other site is exponentialspiritualcoach.com, which you can reach me on. But really, message me on Instagram. It's at Jock Brocas. I don't have a lot of followers, but at the end of the day, I'm more interested in people who want to chat, who want to ask questions. I ain't interested in the numbers. And if they want to meet me, I've got two profiles on Instagram, at Spiritual Medium and at Jock Brocas. I'm always happy to share. I'm always happy to help and to serve. And if I don't know the answer, then I'll know someone who does.
It is true. It is true. Ladies and gentlemen, connect with Jock. I mean, you are a phenomenon. You're an amazing soul in my journey. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for sharing your brilliance, and look forward to what we're going to do next week. So if you guys are interested in that, stay tuned to the Unfiltered Experience. Always go to www.theunfilteredexperience.com. Jock, I love you, brother. I'm going to put you backstage. Don't go anywhere. We're going to end the show, but thank you.
My pleasure, guys. My pleasure.
Thank you. There you have it, Scott. What'd you think of Mr. Jock? I told you we were going to like him.
I love him. I'm going to cuddle with him and I'm going to tickle him. And he's laughing right now saying this guy's freaking me out, and that's okay. That's okay.
Isn't he a sweetheart? Isn't he a sweetheart? Actually, I had Charleston dropped in here and said, my computer stopped while Christopher was talking about road rage, and now I've got Windows 10 rage. Charles, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being here. I found out this Facebook user, great talk, guys. Thank you very much. Found out that it is, let's see. Facebook user says, have a great evening, anybody. If this is still showing as Facebook user, it's me, Angel Hewer. Thank you so much. Yeah, that is kind of crazy. Angel is a huge supporter of the shows, a magnificent soul in my life. Princeton says here, great segment, guys. Actually, Princeton said something back up here that we might want to consider. He goes, man, we have to have a part 2 to this segment. I want to be on it. So perhaps it's a 4-way.
Princeton, why don't you come in and let's do Monday or Tuesday? If you guys are good for that, let's schedule it immediately and do it before the holidays start.
I think that would be power fucking full.
I'll chat as long as you want. We'll do it during the day and we'll just record it and let's do it.
Yeah, he says, learn to breathe. With each breath, we allow divinity to flow into the moment. We get to choose what we get to do with that breath and that moment. Embrace breath in the moments that we create. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, brother, for being here. I know you got a lot of stuff going on, so thank you. Mary Kay says here, this hour went by too quickly. Great discussion, guys. Love you guys. We love you, Mary Kay. Thank you. So yeah. So what are you guys going to do from this conversation? That's the most important part of this show that we do. Is that's I prefaced it like many times, both writing and here on the show, is take some action items from this, ladies and gentlemen. Go put this into your life. You know, it's one thing to get inspired and motivated. Oh, that was so great. But go tell somebody about this. Go put a post about this. Share the show and say, hey, listen, I got some insights on this. It's not about us and having more impact, having more numbers or anything. It's about the impact. It's about resonating with you guys. And I knew that Jock was going to resonate big time. If you guys just take a lesson and just go back and listen to this and take some notes, there is pure fucking brilliance in this, and all we can do to move this life forward and move this world forward. So those are kind of like my ending thoughts. What do you think, Scott? Take us out.
I'm going to just take it and make it super simple. There are a few words he said that were so easy yet so brilliant, and it's plant a seed. And that's something that Chris and I do daily. That's something that Jock's doing daily. I know that everybody here is doing that daily. Never quit with that, because the only thing about planting a seed, it's almost like the artist that creates brilliant work and it doesn't show up and become famous till they die. If you're a person who truly believes that the collective, that all humanity needs to continue to evolve and become more beautiful, and that you're part of that, and that you're not just this individual Scott, Chris, or Jock, then you want that. So that seed planting, it might be a single brush stroke. It might be a painting that goes in a closet and doesn't get out to the masses. It doesn't matter. Every seed planted, you might hold the door for somebody and say, hey, have a nice day, or you look nice, and you think it means nothing, and it's a simple seed, or it's a simple handoff. Keep doing those things, because those things save lives. Those things inspire. Those things change the world. That's what matters. And so please keep doing that. Do the little things that plant the seed. Do the little things that spread kindness. That's all we can do. Love you all.
We love you. Thank you, Scott. I love you, brother. Thank you so much for bringing the light and the lessons I've learned from you, Ben. I love you. Merry Christmas to you guys. We're going to be back here next Friday. 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Put it on your calendar. And again, stay tuned for our social media. We're going to have this special little broadcast with ourselves, with Jock, and with Princeton. And
100%.
That's going to be fucking off the hook powerful. We should charge admission to that shit, but we probably won't because we're nice people. We just want to help you guys. That's the true intention of the show, is to move you guys in your perspective, in your journey, to let go of the shit that's not working for you, to be empowered, to realize truthfully, from my heart to yours, you are way more powerful, way more resourceful, way more loving, way more forgiving than you can even give yourself credit for. We guys love you. The Unfiltered Experience. We'll see you guys next week.